More than 60 million people have already voted in this presidential race, and we're tracking the mountain of ballots cast in the battleground states so far and what it could mean for the eventual outcome. CBS News Deputy Director of Elections and Data Analytics, Kabir Khanna, joins us now. Kabir, good to have you here. Your time is precious. What can you tell us about who's been voting so far?
Good to see you, Scott. So as of this hour, 63 million ballots cast so far around the country, a very healthy early turnout. For context, that's about 40% of the total expected votes we expect to see in this election. They're coming about half from mail ballots and about half at early voting centers around the country. Let me take you on a quick tour of 3 battleground states that we're keeping a very close eye on this year. So in Georgia, we've seen 3.6 million ballots cast, primarily at early in-person voting centers. In Pennsylvania, we've seen 1.6 million. That's the largest of these 3 states. That's about a quarter of all the votes we expect out of that state. And in Arizona, we've seen 1.8 million. That's roughly half of what we expect to see out of Arizona. In terms of who is voting early, let's look at some demographic breaks. So one thing that's interesting is that consistently we see it's mostly women who have cast their ballots already. Now, a lot of people will look at that gap and say, well, that's good news for the Democrats, right? Well, it's not that simple. But for context, in 2020, most early voters were women too, and the percentages are very similar year to year. All 3 of these states were very close in 2020, decided by 1 percentage point or less. So just because you see these demographic breaks, it's too soon to predict whether one side or the other will win. One other thing I want to say about demographics is that most early voters are older, and they're typically people who voted 4 years ago and also who voted early 4 years ago. These are habitual voters turning out early. What we haven't seen yet in the data is a surge of young voters or new registrants or first-time early voters, but there's plenty of time for them to get their ballots in, Scott.
Is there any reason for either party to be enthused by what those numbers are?
Well, it is very tricky to read the tea leaves in this data, but let me show you 2 states where we actually know the party registration of early voters. In Pennsylvania, it's mostly Democrats casting those mail ballots, 57% to 33% Republican. In Arizona, the party split on party registration is a little more balanced, but it's mostly Republicans. But here's one thing I should tell you. Of these registered Republicans in Pennsylvania who voted early, about half of them voted on Election Day 4 years ago. So there is some shifting in how people cast their votes, perhaps not surprising given the Trump campaign's emphasis this year on banking votes. So this Democratic margin isn't as wide as it was 4 years ago, but again, that's not a big surprise. Let me show you one other thing, because something you'll often hear party operatives say is that our side's early turnout is good because we're getting low propensity and new voters out. We're adding people to our tally, whereas the other side is just cannibalizing people who would have shown up anyway. Well, we tried to estimate that at the data desk. We looked at the voter file and looked at everyone who is a likely voter this year for each party. How many of them have shown up so far? In Pennsylvania, about a quarter of likely Democratic voters have cast a vote already. Compare that to about 15% of likely Republican voters in the state. Well, what that means is that 85% of likely Republican voters have yet to vote. They're still out there, and those remaining voters are who the parties are trying to mobilize in this final stretch. What it also means is that while Democrats may be banking a vote lead in a place like Pennsylvania, there's plenty of ground that Republicans can make up in the last few days and on Election Day, and that's precisely what we'll be tracking at the data desk on Tuesday night, Scott.
Lots of work ahead. Kabir Khanna, thank you very much. And you can watch Election Night with the CBS News team live from our election headquarters here in New York and with our team spread out all across the country. Join us for real-time results, analysis, and exclusive polling. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS News 24/7 and 7 p.m. Eastern on CBS.